Today on Dead with Dave, we're going to go over some basics in measuring and cutting. We got a question on lighting that we're going to answer. I talked to you about my big wedding plans. And we pulled another winner for the Audio Zombie giveaway. Hello and welcome to the Dead with Dave show, a show that talks about all things Halloween and haunt related. And today on the show we're going to start off with how to make shit. Today on how to make shit, I want to talk to you about accuracy. No, I don't mean how to build a prop that will hit a guy right in the chest about 50 feet away, even though that would be pretty cool. I'm talking about measuring and cutting accuracy. Sometimes in our rush to get shit done, we forget the simplest of rules when it comes to measuring and cutting of the different parts that we need for basically whatever we're building. But even with that looming deadline of Halloween approaching, you shouldn't take for granted these rules, because in the long run, they're probably going to save you a huge amount of time. So to get us back in the habit of doing things the right way and safer way, I put together a video that goes through some of the basics of measuring and cutting. First, let's talk about measuring. Every home haunter needs a tape measure, and actually you need several tape measures, because you know, for some odd reason, no matter how much you're using it that day, you can never find it. So having 2 or 3 is a huge time saver. I actually lost one recording this episode and really have no clue where I put it down. Most tape measures will work fine, but the more heavy-duty, extended reach versions really help when you're working by yourself. This DeWalt and Fat Max tape measures I'm using here extends 11 feet before they break, and that really cuts down the frustration when working on big projects. Now, whenever you use a tape measure, always take into account for the width of the tip. If you have ever wondered why the tip is loose and slides back and forth, it's because it automatically adjusts for the tip thickness depending on if you're taking an inside measurement or an outside measurement. Now, if you're measuring, say, from a line to a line, it's best to start from the 1-inch mark and measure down from there. This way, that sliding tip won't mess you all up. Now, I know the difference isn't that much, only about a 1/16 of an inch in most cases, but that 1/16 can get compounded over multiple cuts, and by the time you're done with the whole project, you'll wonder how you wound up a 1/2 inch off the mark. Another measuring tool you might want to add to the all-important Haunter's toolbox is a veneer caliper. These come in real handy when working with smaller objects and are super accurate. If you need to know a bolt size, maybe what drill to use to pre-drill for a wood screw, or the thickness of a sheet of Lexan, a veneer caliper will tell you instantly. It's also much better for measuring round stock such as PVC pipe and wooden dowels. Calipers can range in price from $30 all the way up to a couple $100, but the cheaper ones will work fine for any haunter. But on a quick note, stay away from the plastic or vinyl ones. They just suck and they ain't worth shit. Another tip on measuring is to mark off the piece you don't need or what you want to cut away. It's as simple as putting an X on the side that you don't want. This is so you know which side of the blade you need to put your saw when you're making your cut. But we'll get more into that later. This last rule has been beaten to our heads, but is the best tip of them all. Measure twice, cut once. And I'm going to even take it a step further and say calculate twice, measure twice, and cut once. Sometimes we get fat fingers and hit the wrong key in our calculators without knowing. Just do it real quick twice and no miscuts will happen. Since we're talking about cutting, let's go through some tips on how to get the straightest, most accurate cuts you can make. Now, I do understand not everybody has the money to buy the best DeWalt or Portacable saws out there with their fancy laser sights and compound angles, so let's start off with hand saws. Hand saws are actually really good when you just need to make a couple of cuts and don't feel like pulling out the bigger saws. I have a couple of different hand saws that I use all the time, and anybody working with wood, PVC, or even softer metals should have a couple handy. The secret to getting a nice straight cut with a handsaw is to first mark your cut line all the way around the piece. Then, while you're taking your cut, make sure to take your time, watch those cut lines, and make sure you're following them. Even stop and have a quick look from time to time to see where you're at and that you didn't go off the mark. Also, with any saw cut, you want to take into account the width of the saw blade, and that's where your X comes in handy when measuring. Just put the saw on the side of the line where your X is and make your cut. Whatever you do, never cut on the line. Just cut on the side you don't need. Now, if you really want to make a nice straight cut, or if you want to make some angle cuts, get yourself a miter box. These actually work really good for making accurate cuts. Sometimes even better than compound miter saws, and are super cheap. I've had this little one for about 10 years now, and even with all the other saws I own, I still use this one from time to time. A step up from the hand saws is the all-important reciprocating saw. These saws are great for home haunters, period, and every haunter should have one of these in their toolbox. They can literally cut through anything. Of course, using the right blade, but wood, steel, aluminum, PVC, nails, your leg, basically anything. But they really suck at cutting straight. But like the handsaw, if you mark all the sides and take your time, you can get a pretty straight cut. Just remember though, just because it can cut at 5,000 cuts a second, doesn't mean you have to. Go slow and let the blade do the work for you. The one I'm using here is a DwD, and it's a cordless one. I don't really recommend cordless recip saws. They use a lot of juice, and if you don't have a couple extra batteries around, you'll be waiting for one to charge more than using the damn saw. Next saw on the list is the circular saw, another really handy saw for haunters. And if you're cutting any kind of sheet material like plywood or OSB, you really need a circular saw. Now, the secret for straight cuts with these is to always use a fence of some kind. A fence can be a square edge like this one, and it works perfect for cross cutting. Or if rip cutting, a piece of straight wood clamped to your sheet will do the trick. Now, as you see here, I'm pretending to cut my workbench in half because I don't have any plywood lying around to demonstrate this, but you kind of get the picture of what I'm doing. Now, they do have fences you can buy, and they all work pretty much the same way, but they usually cost way too much money. So DIY options are a pretty safe bet. But you do want to get yourself a good 45-degree straight edge for making those quick cross cuts. If you're in the market for getting a good circular saw, the key is straight up horsepower. The more power, the better. This Porter cable I have here is about 8 years old and still works like a beast. Now, I know there are a lot of other saws out there. You got compound miter saws, jig saws, scroll saws, table saws, and then we can get into the whole roto zips and Dremels. If I were to talk about every cutting tool out there, we'd be here all day, and nobody wants to be here all day. But I would like to hear your tips on measuring and cutting. What saws do you reach for, and how do you get that perfect cut? What little trick do you know to get the most accurate measurement? Leave them in the comments down below, and maybe I'll put them on the next Dead with Dave. I bet you guys didn't know that this table in front of me is actually a table saw. A very massive table saw. I don't really use it that much because of all the camera equipment I have everywhere, but it's really nice to have, especially when I need that absolutely perfect cut. But right now it's just a bench that I use for everything. Last month on Dead with Dave, I talked about lighting your haunts for video. I went through just 2 basic scenarios and showed what you can do to light those situations in your own haunt. I got a lot of great comments on those lighting tips, and I really got a great question that would be perfect to answer right here on the show. This question comes from Ramethadol. Ram writes, Dave, another great show. Wish it had taken over a week for me to get the time to watch. Tons of great info as usual. And love the lighting tips, especially for shooting video. Question though, you mentioned carrying a light with you while shooting the night vid. What would you recommend for a battery-powered light? Last thing I want to do is drag an extension cord around while I'm shooting the night vid. This is a great question, Ram, as a lot of haunters do full walkthrough videos of their haunts. As in, they're doing a continuous non-stop video showcasing their entire haunt or walkthrough as a person would experience it in real life. These types of videos are super fun, and the viewer can really get a sense of what the haunt is truly like. But at the same time, with these videos, they can be a bitch to make look good. Or, as the segment name says, it's hard to make them not suck. So let's work on it a little bit, and at the same time, I'm going to answer Ram's question. First, I'm guessing Ram doesn't want to add lights to his scenes, because all in all, that really is the best way to do it. A good rule of thumb is if you like the way it looks in person, to achieve that same look on video, you have to double your lighting. Give or take. Again, this isn't exact science here. It's dependent on a lot of factors, most notably what kind of lights you're using and how good your camera is. But, doubling your light is a really good place to start. Now, if you can't possibly add all those new lights throughout your entire haunt, maybe just add the lights in one room or even just a section of the room. Then once you're done filming that section, you move the lights to the next section and so on and so on. This can get time consuming, and of course you're not going to have that, one continuous video, but if done right, you can get it to look pretty freaking good. Now, if you don't want to add any lights at all and you just want the easiest solution to your problem, carrying a light with you is your next best bet, just like I showed in the last episode. Now, I know Ram's haunt, and if you haven't checked it out, you really need to. A link to his channel will be down below. Definitely somebody you will want to follow and subscribe to. But his haunt is pretty big, with multiple rooms and hallways, and to do a straight walkthrough would probably take about 300 to 400 foot of extension cord just to carry that light with them. You can see where that could be a problem. But if that's not going to work either, and you just want to go fully portable with no wires or anything holding you down, then I got the perfect thing that you're looking for. And I recommend getting this light. It's a camera light from Newer, and it's a pretty awesome light. This is the box. It costs under 30 bucks. The great thing about this light is that it has a dimmer switch on the side, which is hugely important. Most camera lights are just way too bright, and you can tell right away that they're being recorded with a camera light on. And you all know how that looks. It looks bad. It just kind of gives you that flashlight effect where the light is just moving around with the camera. I always hated the way that looked. But with this light, you can dim it down so you have just enough light to show what you want your viewers to see, but you keep it dark enough to keep those shadows right where they're supposed to be. Now, like I've mentioned in the last episode, do not mount the light to your camera. That's the worst thing you can do. Hold it up in your hand and try to keep it focused, in one direction as you move your camera, from side to side, up and down. Doing a full walkthrough video can get, a little tricky. It's like, rubbing your belly and patting your head. I can't really do that. It gets kind of like that. You're going to want to move together, but keep it up. Just move the camera. But try different ways and see what, looks best for you and your individual haunt. For a quick breakdown of this light, it's fully LED. It has 126 LED bulbs in it. It runs on either 6 AA batteries or a rechargeable camera battery pack, which is sold separately but is also very cheap. It's very lightweight but has pretty sturdy construction. Well, as sturdy as a $30 light can be. It has a couple ways to mount it, either with a cold shoe, which mounts to your hot shoe of your camera, which you won't use because you're holding the light in your hand. Remember? Let's not forget that. And it does have a screw-in thread on the bottom, which can mount to any quarter 20 threaded device, which is good if you want to mount it to a pole for some added height or just to get it a little bit further from the camera. the further away, the better. The battery life is pretty good on this. If you keep it full on and use it nonstop, you get about 5 to 6 hours, and that's with the AA's installed. If you dim it down, you can pretty much double that lifetime, which should be plenty to shoot any haunt. I got this light itself from Amazon, and it's a Prime listing, so if you're an Amazon Prime member, 2-day shipping is free. One last thing, it also comes with these diffuser panels. They're kind of like gels for a normal light, but it doesn't act like a color changer, like a gel would change like yellow, blue, green. These are actually color temperature changing panels. This is for 3200 color temperature. Then you got, I think this is 5600 color temperature. I might be wrong. Then you just got a regular clear diffuser. And if you use it without the diffusers at all, you just have kind of a pure white spotlight effect, which really comes in handy. I really do like the 3200 color panel. It dims it down a little bit more and doesn't make it look like that bright, daylight outside, especially for a haunt. You don't really want daylight looking. I like that color the best. But again, try out the different ones and see what works best for your haunt, what you want to look like in your scene. But it's really good to handle. And you can, I guess, put gels in there and just cut a colored gel out. You could probably do whatever you want because there is slots. So it does help. Well, I hope that has helped answer your question, Ram, and I hope I've given the rest of you some good tips on lighting your walkthrough videos. Next time on how to make videos that don't suck, we're going to start getting into how to edit your haunt videos, and I'm going to give you a list of do's and don'ts while getting that editing done. It should be a fun segment, especially for me to make. I really do love the editing part. Okay, it's time to once again pick another winner for the Audio Zombie giveaway. But first, let's thank Audio Zombie for all the great products they have donated to the Dead with Dave show. Products that I get to give to a couple of my lucky viewers. If you haven't checked out Audio Zombie yet, then you really need to. They are a Halloween and horror music producer. They have really great sound for your home haunt, pro haunt, and basically anything in between. As I said in the past, I use a lot of Audio Zombie music throughout my own home haunt, and I have loved their sound for many years. Go over to audiozombisound.com and check out their online store where you can get some awesome new CDs and t-shirts of your very own. But now someone is actually going to win a whole bunch of shit. The name I pull today, out of this bucket, will win 4 different Audio Zombie CDs and an Audio Zombie t-shirt just like last month. If you haven't entered the win, just go back to episode 40, like, comment, and favorite that video. Also make sure you subscribe to my channel, or if you need an easier way, just become a Pandemic member. All members are automatically entered to win in all of my contests. It's just a little perk being a member gets you. So here we go. Let's pull a name. Of course, Crazy Cart Lady isn't here with me to help, so I'm going to have to do all this shit myself. We're getting married and she's already off doing something else. So here we go. And the winner is Robert Letts. Yes, congratulations, Robert Letts. You just won 4 Audio Zombie CDs and an Audio Zombie t-shirt. Robert Letts, I do believe you're a member, actually. I do believe, I'm not sure, let me make sure of that, but I do believe you are a Pandemic member. Make sure you send me your information, Rob, so that I can ship all this out to you. Funny thing is, I didn't ship out last month's winner yet. I gotta get to that. I swear I'm going to get to that this as soon as I get the information for this, I'm gonna send it all out in one shot. I've been doing a lot of shipping lately, so I really need to get to this stuff. But Robert Letts, congratulations to you. Everybody, please go over to audiozombie.com, check them out. Buy yourself some CDs. Buy yourself a t-shirt. They have really great sound over there. Really great sound effects CD too. They're coming out with a whole new CD that they're working on now, which I'm really super excited to hear. I almost said see. You don't see it, but you hear it. Super excited to hear it. So you won't regret it. Go over to audiozombiesound.com. A little discussion time from me to my viewers. Just want to tell you that this might be the last Dead with Dave for just a little bit. A little bit. I can't guarantee there'll be a show next month. And if I can't get out a show next month, there won't be another Dead with Dave till December 1st. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's getting really close to the big wedding day, and we're making all our final arrangements now, and time is just getting eaten up. But speaking of the wedding, for those of you who are interested in what our wedding plans are, I really don't usually talk about personal stuff in great detail here in the show, but maybe some of you might be interested, so I'm going to talk about it real quick right now. If you don't care, just, hit the fast forward button on the bottom for a couple minutes and then you'll get to the end. But Crazy Cart Lady and I are getting married in Walt Disney World this October. Yes, of course, we're getting married in October. Haven't you heard? We're kind of Halloween people over here. I don't know if you noticed. We're getting married at the Grand Floridian Resort in their wedding pavilion. It's a really beautiful place overlooking the Magic Kingdom. It's going to be a very, very small wedding. Only 20 of our closest family and friends are going to be there. Now, both of our families are on the small side anyway, so not too many people are really missing it. I wish I could invite everyone. I wish I could invite all of you, but, we just can't. And I'm sure most of you and them will understand why. But moving on with the wedding, I don't want to bore you with all the little details, but one thing I'm sure some of you will be interested in is we made arrangements to have our wedding photos taken in the Magic Kingdom. And I am so excited to do this photo shoot. The park is going to be closed, and it's just going to be Nicole and me in our full wedding attire taking pictures all around the Magic Kingdom. And of course, you know what the first spot is going to be. We're going to take our photos, right? You know what it's going to be. The Haunted Mansion. I am so freaking excited. I really, really can't freaking wait. I mean, the wedding itself will be awesome too. Don't get me wrong. But the private photos in front of the Haunted Mansion, all by ourselves. Oh my God, it's like a dream come true for me. The wedding is too. I love you, honey. I really do. But the Haunted Mansion thing, it really gets me excited. So that's cool. The theme for the wedding itself is not going to be Halloween. Nicole wants an elegant wedding, which is fine by me. I would have loved to do a full Halloween wedding, and we did think about it very seriously. But in the end, she wanted to be elegant. And that's how she's always pictured her wedding in her head. So that's what she wants. That's what she's going to get. I mean, come on. When Crazy Cart Lady focuses on something, it's hard to break her from that focus. You've seen her before. The Crazy Cart Lady is going to help us once again draw that name.
Going to the beach. We have to hurry.
She's been telling me for quite some time that she's going to the beach, even though it's a folding chair.
It's my beach. And I'm going to the
It's
beach
nighttime.
towel.
How are you going to the beach when it's not?
It's my beach towel.
It's not a beach towel.
It's my beach towel.
It's a hand towel.
It's my beach towel. And my beach umbrella.
That's not. That's a regular umbrella, which we need right now. It is it's raining.
My sunbrella.
It's a sun.
Not umbrella. Sunbrella.
Okay. Can we get to the contest?
My cart. The cart. To the beach. See? Going to the beach.
I see you have a very beautiful bathing suit on, but isn't that supposed to go under?
I'm going to the beach.
Okay. Before you go to the beach, can we do the contest? We'll just do the contest. Of course, it's going to be during Disney's Halloween time, so there will be Halloween decorations all over the place. I mean, especially when we're taking our pictures in the Magic Kingdom. So no matter what, there will be Halloween included throughout the entire wedding, just not the Halloween us haunters look for. After the wedding, though, we are going to the top of the Contemporary Resort, and we're having our wedding dinner at the California Grill, which also overlooks the Magic Kingdom. We're not doing a full reception, so no dancing. You're not going to get any video of me doing that. It's just going to be a very nice dinner. After the wedding day, we will be on our honeymoon for a week and a half, enjoying a nice, fun-filled, and kind of relaxing time at Disney, taking in all the Halloween fun Disney has to offer. So, as I'm sure you can tell by now, we're getting really excited. This is going to be cool. I'm getting a little nervous, but I'm sure it'll all turn out good, and should be no problems. But don't worry, I'm going to try my best to get out a show or maybe a couple Dead with Dave minis before all of that happens, so we'll talk again. I also want to get out my haunt video from last year's haunt. It's pretty much finished. I just have to do a couple little things to it, and then I upload it, and you guys will be able to see it. I know I'm a little late. I know. Don't have to say anything, but I'm freaking late, I know. But there will be stuff coming out. Maybe not a full Dead with Dave, but there will be something. You know, something for you guys to watch. But I have rambled way too long right now. Let's end the show. That's it for this episode of Dead with Dave. I hope you have all enjoyed. Please go over to pandemichauntproduction.com for more Halloween and haunt-related goodness. We're going to end the show with some more of the Dead with Dave Home Haunters Awards bloopers. So if you want to see that, stick around. It's pretty funny stuff. A little bit funny. It's funny. I will see you next time, whenever that is. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Here are some bloopers, and have a good night.
Warning: the following may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
The winner for Best Veteran Home Haunter of 2013 is...
At good speed, the Butcher of Provincetown. Hold the thing up.
I will. I'm just trying to get this in my head.
Just replay your dreams. At good speed. Butcher of Provincetown.
And the winner for Best Veteran Home Haunter of 2013
He's my boyfriend.
It's a guy I really wish I could meet in person. I just want to hug him.
I just want to touch you. Touch you, Brad, please.
I want to absorb your skills and knowledge.
I want to feel you inside me.
Max, get out there. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Let me know when you're ready.
Max, come here.
The dog won't bother me. The dog won't bother me. And the winner of Best Veteran Home Haunter of 2013 is... Brad Goodspeed, the Butcher of Provincetown. Okay, I'll do it this time. I think I got this one.
Gyrate.
The
There's apple pie all over the trophy. You like the front of the trophy. Turn it around at least. Other way. Turn it around one more time. There you go. Alright, perfect.
Okay.
I'm using one of these. You're not gonna know which one I'm using. I'm using one of them.
It might be the one I want to have your child.
And the winner of Best Veteran Home Haunter of 2013 is... Brad Goodspeed, the Butcher of Provincetown. Brad, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's a Providence?
Is that what I said, Providence?
Yeah, not Providence.
Oh, God. Okay.
Providence.
Oh, Jesus.
Provincetown. It's
Provincetown.
not even Providence. It's
Butcher of Mantown.
Butcher my ass, boy.
What do you mean? Oh my God.
Look at this shit.
That's an apple good speed pie.
Wipe your face off and finish the fucking sentence.
Oh, Provincetown,
We're going to Provincetown.
There we go. Drink. Yeah.
Are we done yet?
Oh my God.
I'm about to throw that fork out. Okay.
The winner is your man crush in Canada.
And the winner for the Best Home Haunter for 2013 is...
That's veteran home haunter.
Fuck you! And the winner for the best veteran home haunter of 2013 is Brad Goodspeed, the Butcher of Provincetown. Provincetown, not Provincetown, but Provincetown. Okay.
Provincetown.
Brovin. Bro, babe.
Provincetown. Please don't lick my microphone.
I'm riding home with him!
How can people not want to party with us?
Seriously. I know, right?
How can some of that be like, oh, they're going, no matter what?
Oh my god.
Okay. Where are we? And the winner is.
Last sentence.
Trans
Okay, come
world.
on. Let's just finish the last sentence. Please.
And the winner for best veteran home haunter of 2013 is Brad Goodspeed, the Butcher of Provincetown.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
I feel
How
confident.
did you do that?
Because